You were talking a minute ago about light lures and dark lures. That's something that I've not that I've kind of missed when I fish. Tell me why on a clear day like today you would want to use a light lure as opposed to a dark lure.
A lure, underwater bait, the fish see it. They more than likely they see a shadow. And a white bait on a clear day throws a much better shadow than a dark bait does. Because the dark bait comes through the water. It just comes through as dark. But when a light colored lure comes through there, it's more alive. That's the reason in the evening on a dark or at night and morning and night on the a dark lure like green or blue or the bait as it comes through the water throws a darker shadow, and the fish see it better and they'll eat it better quickly. Now this has been proven. This is not something that somebody makes up. This is every guy that's ever fished for a living will tell you this. Light to light and dark to dark.
Man, that's fantastic. See, that's something that I wouldn't have thought about, Mac, and you've given me a real tip here. Now, let me ask you this. You were talking a minute ago about you were looking for places where the birds are flying over the shad, and that's where you would want to go to catch sand bass. Why is it that sand bass are so appealing to you?
Well, they're numerous. And I don't think I ever caught a sand bass that wasn't well fed. And they're full. They're filled out. They fill out good. They make a nice, real nice fillet. And they're not hard. Just like I say, they're not hard to clean, and they're clean fish. They feed on small insects as well as live, what am I trying to say, water life. And they're never overpowering when it comes to cleaning them. They're easy to clean. And without a doubt, in my way of thinking, when you clean the sand bass, you take him loose from his skin and from the bones. On each fillet, on top, you have a bloodline. And that bloodline needs to come out. You don't want to cook it. You want to take it, cut it out. It's not very big. It's about as big as your little finger. You take that out and you save that bloodline, because that makes the best named catfish bait you can use on the lake.
That's amazing, Mac. I didn't know that you could use bloodline for catfish.
Oh yes, you sure
So
can.
you've given me another great tip today.
Yeah, that's it. And save it, and make sure you cut it out, because when you cook that fish, it tastes altogether different if you leave the bloodline in. If they're not near as sweet.
Well, let me ask you this. You had talked to me a little bit about top water bait and buzz bait and slab lures, and of course I don't have the experience that you do about which lure or which kind of bait to use. You were saying something about those being the better ones to use when you're catching sand bass. Would you elaborate a little bit on those different types of baits?
Well, I don't know what causes the fish to make a decision on which bait they're going to get the best. The buzz bait, it stays up on top of the water, and the spinner's going around, and they turn the water up as they come across the water, and I think the fish hit that as a living subject. That's the buzz bait. The slab can be fished at any depth, and you can put it down. I always put it down on a count, like a 1 and a 2 and a 3, and then bring it. And if they don't hit it, then I put it down 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 until I find where they are. And then when they hit it, don't bring it too fast. Just try to make it stay level at the depth you've got it at. You don't want it up and down like this. You want it like this. And when they hit it, they're on. You don't have to worry about missing them. In fact, when my wife and I sand bass fish, a lot of times when we got into the big schools of them, I took a pair of pliers and mashed the barbs off the hooks. So when you catch one and you bring it in, you can flop it just flop it, and it comes off, and you can turn right around and throw it again. If you've got hooks with the barbs on them, you got to get a pair of pliers and take it out, which is all right. But then you miss out on catching some fish. But knocking the barbs off, it's quick.
Man, that's incredible information. I'm just astounded at what I learn every time I talk with you, and I think that our viewers are going to find this extremely interesting and useful to them too. Let me just ask you a couple of more things that I've always been curious about. You had alluded to the fact that if you are having a good day and catching a lot of sand bass that are around the shad, that sometimes that you would kind of remember or mark that spot, and then you were saying that you had success coming back to that spot in 30 minutes or longer and then catching some catfish in that same place.
That's right. There we go. When you put the bait out, then if you're fishing in 20 foot of water, you want the bait to go down 20 foot and bring it across the bottom. And I would bring it across in jumps. Take up the slack, lift the bait, and then let it fall back down. But make sure you keep in contact with the line on your rod, because when that catfish hits, sometimes he just kind of just jars it, and then he comes back and knocks the heck out of it. And if you don't feel him, a lot of times he might be on here for a while, or he may have dropped it and gone on. But you always need to make sure that you have a feeling on your line, on your rod.
That's great, and I know you've told me before in the past that 5 to 8 pound channel cats are some of the best eating that you've ever had.
Yeah, that's right. And they also have a bloodline, and you take that bloodline out and save it. Put it in a deep freeze and use it next month.
Mac, I'm extremely grateful for you spending some time today with me and our viewers that are going to be watching the website. As you know, I'm going to be doing a weekly newsletter, and in it I'm going to have tips that you're going to be talking about some of these things that you've shared and some different topics more in detail. And the people coming to the website will be able to be, up on their game, so to speak. And hopefully they'll have an enjoyable outing out at the lake and be able to catch quite a bit of fish. And I thank you for this time that you've given me today.
You're welcome.